Today we're going to turn the tables and we have City Manager Taylour Tedder answering questions instead of asking them today. He's here along with Evan Miller, our Assistant City Manager, and we're going to be talking about the budget process and specifically the fiscal year 2026 budget. Related to revenues, it seems like there are no rate or fee increases proposed this year. Where is the growth in revenues coming from?
That's right, Lynn. So this year we're not looking at any increases in property tax, parking fees, really any city-related fees. Nothing's increasing, everything's staying the same. But you still have that organic growth through property values increasing. We are also seeing a much higher level of use of our Park Mobile app on parking. So we actually reduced the revenue coming in from coin or cash transactions, but also increased the pay by phone transactions because we are seeing a lot more adoption of people using their phone to pay, which also results in longer parking sessions, and it's easier for folks to pay for parking. So we are seeing people utilize that a lot more. We're also seeing an increase in transfer tax. This fiscal year, we've already, as of January, greatly exceeded our budget.
And transfer taxes when a property sells.
Right, so that's when property changes hands. The city does receive a portion of that.
What about expenses? How do you estimate what the expenses will be, and where's the growth in that area?
Our growth in expenses is personnel, and the largest cost for any local government are people, our workers. So ultimately, last year the city did a compensation study, and that was implemented fully in fiscal year 25, and for fiscal year 26, we are looking at a 3% cost of living increase for employees. So that, looking at the inflation rate for Sussex County, it's about 4%. So that's just barely covering most of that. And then a 3% merit pool where employees can get up to 3% for meritorious service. On the staff level, we did just finish up a tentative agreement on the collective bargaining agreement for the police department. So they are with the Teamsters. It's our only bargaining unit that we have here in the city. So we were able to reach tentative agreement on a 3-year contract for them. One of the positions is in our IT department. Ultimately, with everything related to police body cameras, the in-car cameras and computers in those cars, and then just everything related to moving more towards a digital world here at everything that we do at the city. So we are looking at adding another help desk technician for the IT department so that they can better manage all of the different tasks and accomplishments that we have to do here at the city related to computers and information technology. Another position that is included in the budget is related to our finance department. So this is an accounting assistant who can help us with our reporting. One of my goals for the city related to this budget and just our finances in general are being as transparent as possible and making sure that we're communicating information to the public. So the final position that's included in the budget is a entry-level planner position that would be included in our community development or building and licensing department. And this position would ultimately be focused on our planning efforts.
I'm aware that the city utilizes different kinds of funds in its budget. Right. Can you talk a little bit about the different funds and explain what they are?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's correct. So we do have a general fund and we have enterprise funds. The general fund really is used to support any governmental activities. So that includes, for example, the police department, the IT department, the administration, finance, building and licensing, parking, and the enterprise funds support more of the business type activities. So that includes the water department and the wastewater department.
What are the capital improvement expenses?
So this year, some of the items that we've included in the capital budget would be a lot of recurring projects that we have every single year. So that would be street resurfacing projects, water main replacements, stormwater, water and sewer line inspections and repairs. In the capital budget, there are also some one-time projects. So, for example, we've included final beach patrol headquarter construction. So as most folks know, the beach patrol and restroom facility is nearing completion. So in the upcoming budget, that project will be completed. And then also just other facilities. So we look at all of the city's facilities that we own and want to make sure that we maintain them. We do that through funding those projects in the capital budget. So for example, this year we have HVAC replacement in the convention center, and then also starting to design some improvements at our streets department facility.
And I do just want to touch on a little piece about the beach patrol facility. So earlier in late 2024, the city did finance $5.5 million with M&T Bank through a bond for financing of the beach patrol facility. So we are realizing some of those bond proceeds in this FY2026 budget, which is one of the reasons the budget also grew, because we're still doing a full capital improvement plan related to all of the other items.
So in addition to wrapping up the beach patrol project, we're also continuing work on the wastewater treatment plant.
Correct.
Right? We're doing updates there.
Yeah, so at the wastewater treatment plant, we've spent several years performing capital improvements down there for the facility. This upcoming fiscal year, we are looking to complete phase 3B, which is really exciting. It's a project where we actually implement a dewatering process at the facility, which turns the treatment sort of byproduct, the sludge, into what's referred to as a cake. So as a result of that process, we're able to more efficiently treat, handle, dispose of that material. And then the next phase of the wastewater treatment plant would be phase 4, which is primarily focused on major electrical improvements at the facility.
And that's the final phase.
That is the
correct?
final phase, yes.
So as our budget process continues to move forward over the next couple of months, what is it that you'd like community stakeholders to know?
Well, Lynn, I'd really like stakeholders to know that there's always a time for them to get involved. So we have several budget meetings remaining. They're completely open to the public. You can come, provide public comment. You can give us suggestions. But ultimately, we want to make sure that this budget is representative of the community's wants and interests, and really helps us to continue to elevate Rehoboth Beach as not only one of the top summer destinations, but a great place to live year-round. And thank you so much for catching this episode of Tedder Talks. Please join us next month, and we're going to take a peek behind the scenes related to the preparations for the summer season. So thanks again, and we'll see you next month.